Syria in last 24 hours. Army inflicts heavy losses on terrorists in Aleppo province. Tehran FNA. The Syrian army hit hard the terrorists' military positions and hardware in the southeastern part of Aleppo province. The terrorists sustained heavy losses in the Syrian army's attacks in Aleppo province. The Syrian army also continued its advances in other key provinces across Syria. Aleppo. The Syrian army artillery and missile units opened heavy fire at the positions of the AlNusra Front Tahrir alSham Hayat or the Levant Liberation Board in southeastern Aleppo on Friday to pave the ground for the government forces' advances towards Idlib. The artillery and missile units launched heavy shelling on the positions of alNusra along a road connecting the regions of Ramla and Rasm al-Siyala to each other southwest of the town of Qanasir in southeastern Aleppo as the army troops were trying hard to advance towards southeastern Idlib from the flank. Over 10 terrorists were killed and 3 military vehicles were destroyed in the army fire. Golan Heights. The Syrian army troops stormed the strongholds of the alNusra Front on the strategic hilltop of Tal al-Maktoul near the Golan Heights in western Damascus for the second day in a row, sources said on Friday. The sources said that the army men, led by their elite 42nd Brigade of the 4th Mechanized Division, attacked al-Nusra positions in the northern part of Tal al-Maktoul in a fierce exchange of fire. They added that the army men are currently trying to fight their way up the hilltop, but the terrorists are making it very difficult to break through their lines as they resist attacks. Tal al-Maktoul is the last hilltop before the town of al-Muwar. If captured, they will have fire control over al-Muwar region near the occupied Golan Heights. Field sources said on Tuesday that Abu Hasif al-Falastini, a notorious commander of the al-Nusra Front, was killed in an offensive operation of the Syrian army in southwestern Damascus. The sources said that Abu Hasif al-Falastini, the field commander of al-Nusra, was killed in battle with the army men in Beit Jin region in southwestern Damascus. The sources further said that the army's artillery and missile units targeted a military vehicle of the terrorists on the road that connects Beit Jin to al-Muwar, destroying the vehicle and killing its crew. Syrian army men drove the al-Nusra Front out of more positions in southwestern Damascus and gained control over the terrorists' main supply line in region on Monday. Dozens of al-Nusra Front terrorists were killed in an ISIL ambush operation in eastern Aleppo, sources close to dissident groups disclosed on Friday. The sources said that the al-Nusra terrorists were headed to the battlefields to fight with the ISIL terrorist group in Al-Uwais village in eastern Aleppo. The sources said that a group of militants affiliated to the ISIL was likely behind the ambush operation. The sources said that a sum of 31 al-Nusra terrorists were reportedly killed and dozens more were injured in the ISIL attack. The sources further said that the attackers were the remnants of Jund al-Aqsa which had not left Raqqa. Their ambush was launched from Sinjar village in southeastern Idlib. Soon after the ambush, they dispersed to the area east of the Hama-Aleppo highway around the villages of Marat al-Nu'ayman, Sinjar and Abu al-Dahor. Homs. The Syrian security forces have arrested an ISIL militant that was responsible for the terrorist attack in Homs city earlier this week, field sources reported on Friday. The sources said that the security forces managed to track and capture the terrorist that planted the IED improvised explosive device on a bus. The sources added that the ISIL terrorist was identified as Umar al-Sabah from Aleppo city. He used to study at Homs University before he decided to join the ISIL, they said. Sabag was tracked down and arrested in Damascus, along with 3 of his associates that are believed to have played a role in the terrorist attack. Dara field sources reported on Friday that the Syrian army has sent a large number of forces and a large volume of equipment to a region in the province of northern Dara, western Damascus and northern Quneitra known as the Death Triangle to intensify anti-terrorism operation. The sources reported that the army has forwarded the soldiers and military equipment deployed in Jeddah battalion base west of the town of al-Sanmin in Dara province to the Death Triangle to reinvigorate the pro-government forces front against the al-Nusra Front. The sources added that the army convoy included cargoes of heavy weapons, tanks, missile launchers and fresh soldiers. The sources said that the army is preparing to kick off an assault in the village of Zaman in northern Dara. Other sources said that the army is preparing to carry out operations in the towns of al-Samadani al-Karbi and al-Hamidiya to lay siege on terrorists in northeastern Quneitra following the pro-government forces deployment in the town of al-Bath and Tal Hilamar.